So today we're going to review what we did Friday. Shut your Chromebook, we don't need it right now. You just need paper and pencil and your calculator. The first thing we did on Friday, or the thing that we learned Friday, was finding a specific term in a sequence. We need to figure three things. We need to find the n value. We need to find the first term. And we need to find the common difference. Alright, take a moment to see if you can find the n value, the first term, and the common difference. This is review from Friday. Okay, did anybody remember how to find the n value? Alright, what do you got? Is it Jaquel? Nope. Help me out there. Camilla? I'm so sorry. Alright, Camilla, what's the n value? 54, very good, awesome. Good job. And who knows what a subscript 1 means? The first term in the list. What is the first term in the list, Noah?
-2.
-2, great job. What does D stand for? The common difference. It's the pattern number. It's always adding or subtracting the same number over and over again. And I don't expect you to always be able to do this in your head. So we have this little formula here. You'll take one of the terms and subtract it from the previous term. So if we're trying to figure the common difference, there's one number we can't start with. And it's the one that doesn't have a term in front of it. So which number can I not use to start with? You won't start with the -2. So let's go and we can use the middle one or the last one. We'll use the last one. -14, and then we subtract, and what number is in frente of the -14? -8. If you plug that in your calculator, it should give you the answer for the common difference, which is -6. Are these numbers going downwards?
Yes.
They're getting larger, but they're going downwards because they're getting more negative. More and more negative means less and less and less. Okay, we're ready to get our answer now. We got all the important stuff. Here's the equation we'll be using. It's also right up here on the whiteboard.
54 and plus, -2.
All right, what do you get?
What?
Should be negative.
Negative.
-6. How many people got that answer?
I got negative.
I'm not seeing a lot of hands, so we may need to look at it more carefully.
Yeah, you need. Yeah, redo that. Okay.
Slow down, slow down. All right, what'd you get? -320. Did anybody else get that answer? Okay, try this. I think this is what happened. I think you forgot to put the plus sign down.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the common mistakes. Number one common mistake is we're getting the wrong D value. The next common mistake might be we're forgetting to put that plus between those terms.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Next problem, again, we've got to find those three things. What is the n value? What is the first term? And then what is the D value? See if you can find those, and then lastly, we'll plug that in and get our final answer. All right, so the n value. I need to call some new people. I don't know anybody's name, sorry. What's her name?
My name Phil.
No, it's not.
Phil?
What's your last name?
Hold on. Bad kid. Alright. Phil Necro, the knuckleballer that's been retired for like 50 years. What's the n value? 60. All right, Jacayla, what's the first term?
4.
All right, you got the common difference?
-5.
Tell me your name again.
Alex.
Alex? Common difference, he's got -5, and he is correct. So now we plug all that into our equation. A subscript 60, the 60th term is 4 plus 60 minus 1 all times -5. Got to call new people.
B, just call me. B, just call. Filipino music. It's
Colton, what'd you get?
bad boy.
-291?
Yes.
Y'all
Oh,
agree?
you started that right.
All right, fantastic, fantastic.
I was the second.
All right, I'm gonna jump. So the assignment for Friday. The assignment for Friday. When I teach this lesson in second semester in the past, it's a 1-day lesson. I would have taught you how to evaluate stuff, and I would have taught you this. Do you remember this from the notes on Friday?
Yes.
I said we would go through this later. Well, later ended up being today, because we still had a lot to learn. We were having trouble plugging in things on our calculator, getting familiarized with things. So it's better, since I'm teaching this now first semester, to do this in 2 days, which is what we're going to do. So here's the real formula. Here's the one that we're going to use to cheat with. This is the one you're going to be given on the milestones, though. So we're going to do a little bit of that one before we move on. All right. Whoops. Okay. In a way, I think these are easier. In a way. So, let's take a look. We look at n, we look at the first term, we look at the d value. Did they give you a number for n?
No.
No, because in the past we were finding a very specific number on the list. What we're coming up with now is supposed to be the equation that'll work for any number. So it's not going to be one number. It's going to be an equation we're finding. We're writing the explicit formula, which we can use to find any number we can plug in for n. So n is going to stay as our variable. N is just going to be n. You're not going to find anything for it. You don't have to. The first term is still the first term. What is first term? It is 25. Common difference, you're still going to take a term and subtract the previous term, and in this case we get a positive 8. Now, this way is going to seem a little bit tricky. I'm going to show it to you the one time, and then I'm going to show you a shortcut. But I think you can understand the shortcut better as long as I show it the longer way one time. So our main formula is this. It's the same one we've been working with, but we can plug in 2 things. We can plug in the first term and the d value, the common difference. Get to this part, and I'm going to pause for a second so you can write. So, the way to go through this, if we're trying to work it out, this is the formula they are going to give you on the milestones. And you would have to do this. What am I trying to do there?
Multiply.
Yes. But half of the students in this meant more. Like 85% of my first block, their heads melted. Right? Because then they would have this right here. Go ahead, write that stuff down. Remember, your notes are your roadmap. It's your map. It's your set of directions. So you don't just write down the things I write. Maybe add some words in there to help it make sense to you. The last thing we would do is we would collect these like terms. And you would have a subscript n equals 8n plus 17, and that would be the answer. The rest plus stuff.
How did you know?
25 minus 8, 17.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to do all that. I already taught you how to do this. Yeah. We spent a couple days on this and you guys crushed it. But it looked like this. Y equals mx plus b. Remember we did the shapes? And you wrote the equation? You can use that to get the answer. So we can cheat on all these. First term, second term, third term. See how they're the same thing? We can find the pattern. So the common difference test, where we do 41 minus 33, that's great. Knowing that the D value is 8 is awesome. We've got most of the answer. We have most of the answer. The equation is 8n. But if I needed to work backwards to find the 0 stage, we would actually have to go take away 8. These are all plus 8. That's the pattern. Going backwards one gives us what number? Well, we would use negative 8.
17.
We're done. But wait a second. The formula is doing that, kind of. Remember, the pattern is positive 8, right? There's the backwards one. We had 25, the first term. This negative 1 causes you to go backwards one time, which is how we got 17 using the formula. But if you just have the list, and you know how to find stage 0, you can get the equation right there and just be done with it. Everybody with me? Okay. Can I change slides? So I'm going to go mostly using the shortcut. But you have to remember it. Okay, there's your list. See if you can find the pattern number in the 0 stage, and then you'll get your equation. All right, what is the pattern number? It says negative 4, so we need to find that D value, and I'm going to say negative 6, take away negative 2, the number before it, and it does give you, in your calculator, a negative 4. We mostly have the answer already. The equation is going to be a subscript n equals negative 4n, and then if it's minus 4, to go backwards, we have to do what? The opposite of the number we had here. So that the pattern number goes here, and then you'll have it on your calculator. Do the opposite of that, and 2 plus 4 is 6, and then you're done. It's that easy. This is the 0 stage. You could call it the y-intercept using the other notation. It's the term before the first term. The first term has a 1, so we could say a subscript 0 if we wanted. Are you good? Last example. This is it for the day. See if you can find the explicit equation. Okay, so we figured out the pattern is plus 6, and the only thing you write into delta math when you get your answer is this part. It'll have that for you already. So we know it's 6n, and you go backwards by doing the opposite of that. 28 minus 6 is 22, and there we are.